So hey guys, I just got back from a coaching session. Just love working with my client David, and he's given me permission to use his name. Obviously there's so many Davids, so one of the things that he's struggling with at times on his own, by the way, the guy's making so much progress, is procrastination and also staying focused. So I've been working with him on that, and he's been really improving in the sessions. But obviously, even when you're getting coaching, you still got to work on these things in your life, and you're going to get some days where you're really good, and you're going to get other days where you can't always complete. But the most important thing in everything that I say to anyone I coach or speak to, so get my breath. Oh, this hotel coffee is really strong. It's one of the strongest coffees I've ever had. Can't hardly breathe, and I'm excited. The most important thing is that people don't give up. And that, that's a cliche now. That's on every motivational video. But deep down, every human being knows what that means. They know the importance of not giving up. And when you don't give up, your self-esteem goes up. All your fears and your insecurities about I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not rich enough, I haven't achieved enough, that person's better than me, they're better than me, I'm ashamed, I'm a failure, I'm a loser. In my experience, that all goes away. Because psychologically, all your fears and your insecurities and your programming from society and growing up in traumas, that negative energy or fears become aware that actually you're not going to give up. And it's not giving up that gives you self-esteem and confidence, and it gives you not just a feeling, because feelings come and go, but it gives you more of a permanent place that I'm good enough. Anyway, so basically, my client David, who's doing my 6 weeks confidence program, his goals are, he's got many goals, but in his career, he's working on building a coding business. Sorry, I can't breathe this coffee, hold on. It's good to breathe, good tip, always good to breathe. Appreciate being alive. And he's working on a farming business. So I said to him, with the procrastination, a lot of people get stuck on focusing on too much. They get obsessed with, I'm procrastinating, I procrastinate. And it's like, well, we know that. What's your goal? What's your reasons? If you don't have clear goals and you're not driven, you're not going to do it. Sometimes it annoys me. People use this term like it's cool. It's almost like I'm procrastinating, I'm really cool. It's like, it's not cool. It's not cool. It's not, you're failing. You're sabotaging yourself. You're making yourself fail. So, it's not cool. You can't use a fancy word and just go, I procrastinate. What does that mean? Like, yeah, we know what that means. Procrastinate means basically you're not doing the things that you know you should be doing in order to achieve your goals or live a better life or become a better person. So let's overcome it. So how do we overcome it? Well, I can only speak from experience. Well, I can speak from my own experience, because I used to be a procrastinator, and now I'm excellent at not procrastinating because I've learned the lessons. So for me, this is about pain. You've got to go through enough pain, and you've got to understand the negative consequences. So what's the pain of procrastination? You feel terrible. You feel terrible about yourself because you know you're not doing the things that you should be doing, and you're not getting that feeling of satisfaction. You're not progressing in your life. And as my client said, he asked me, have I seen the film Groundhog Day? Of course I've seen it. Every day feels the same, and not in a good way. So it's depressing. It affects your self-esteem. Of course it's going to feed the voice, what do people think about me, even though you shouldn't care. It affects your self-worth. Not just only yourself, other people are losing out. If you're working for a company and people depend on you, and you allow procrastination, which is really fear, it's the fear of contact, it's the fear of your potential, it's overcoming the fear of being criticized by people, it's the fear of responsibility, it's the fear of love, joy, it's the fear of enjoying life, then you're going to let people down. And all these things are going to make you not feel good. So all the different terms, we could say, I don't feel good enough when I procrastinate, I let people down. Yeah, of course your finances will be affected. So many people don't make money because they procrastinate. They let self-sabotaging behaviors get in the way, and those sabotaging behaviors keep them broke. So procrastination can become a toxic thing. So how do you overcome procrastination? Well, number one, like I said, you must know the consequences of procrastinating. How does it affect you? Every area of your life, financially, relationships, mentally, emotionally, self-esteem. It brings up stuff from the past, things that are going to bring you down, discourage you. It feeds all the negative voices, and it paralyzes you and makes you afraid. It makes you run. People run to Netflix, they run to Instagram, they run to YouTube. People will run anywhere in order to escape their own biochemistry, their own biological feelings and the task at hand. They listen to the voice. The voice says, this will kill you. This will be unbearable. This will make you ashamed. This will make you judged by people. You can't handle it right now. But of course you can handle it by breathing, relaxing, some gratitude. I'm grateful to be alive. The whole world doesn't revolve around me. There's other people around the world, millions of people that are feeling what I'm feeling. So stop judging yourself and stop being so immature, and let's think about overcoming it. Now, when you know the consequences of how it brings you down, and if I can speak from my experience, years and years of procrastinating made me think about suicide, which isn't obviously a nice thing to think about. And it made me not like myself. And it made me afraid to trust, to go out. And it kept me in my flat having panic attacks every day. So I'm not saying everyone gets to that point, and I'm hoping that they never get to that point. But the reality, people are feeling that. Well, I know they're feeling that. I've been coaching almost 11 years. So when I got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore, literally was like, wasn't enjoying living, but was afraid to die, afraid to live, and of course afraid of Groundhog Day. I said, please God, please, I just don't want another day to feel like this. So you've got to really understand and get real with what is this doing to you. Now the next thing, my client said a great thing today in a session which could help everyone, and it helped me to help him. He said, Jonathan, because he's doing amazing, of course he's doing great. He said, some days my fears, the challenges, my negative behavioral addictive patterns, sometimes they outweigh my desire to succeed. Great point. This is a really important detail. You guys and girls should write this down. So I said, I understand we've all been through that. I've been through that many times. I've been through times where I've been so frightened that my goals and my dreams and my aspirations to be all I can be can't focus. It's like it's non-existent. All I'm thinking about is how afraid I am and how scared I am of being hurt and being judged. And I don't want to feel those feelings. I don't want to deal with it. Same as when you wake up in the morning, we all get some days where we just think, oh man, I can't do life today. Life's stressful. People, finances, bills, inflation, love, relationships. I just don't want to deal with it today. We all get days like that. But with the right mindset, with the right values, with gratitude, with changing the way that we view the conversation which says, I can't deal with it, you can deal with it. As a matter of fact, dealing with it, facing your responsibilities and overcoming procrastination is going to give you peace, confidence. All those things are going to go away, shame. And you won't be thinking, what are people thinking about me? It's more a mindset of what can I give people? And then you'll do the things that you need to do. So with my client, David, who's making so much progress, I'm so confident that he's going to start putting more time into his coding business, and he's working on a farming business, and he's doing a job at the moment as a waiter to facilitate his bigger dreams. And so many of you will do it. And I know millions of people who watch this video will do it because they'll get a sense that I'm telling the truth, that I've been through these things and I've helped a lot of people, and I've overcome procrastination in its most severe form twice in my life. The first time was in my 20s when I lived in Fulham Broadway, and I was frightened of living, frightened of dying, and frightened of staying where I was, and I was afraid to come out the house. I overcame it through listening to motivation from Les Brown, become successful. Then I got hit with mental illness at age 34. I was in a mental hospital. Procrastination is almost an insult to what I was going through, but it was severe procrastination. I was frightened again. I overcame it again, obviously with faith, with good family, but my own effort, my own determination. Here I am now, not procrastinating, living a blessed life every day, taking more action than I've ever taken in years, even doing these videos with a passion, gratitude after coming back from a great coaching session today, and being up in the morning, and shooting videos on the roof and doing a new one, and about to cook and do other things. So I know anyone can do it, but it's courage. That's what we're getting down here. People like going into details. That's fine. I understand people are passionate. It's this reason. It's, look, stress, fear of the unknown. Yeah. Fear of connection. Yeah. Fear of abandonment. Yeah. Fear of being all you can be. Yeah. But ultimately it's courage and heart. But it's the motivation to access that courage and do the things that you need to do, whether it's your coding, it doesn't matter what it is, cleaning the house. That's why I get all my clients, and I teach on this channel for anyone that cares to listen, for men and women, got to work on the basics. Waking up in the morning, getting out of bed when you don't feel like it, washing the dishes when you don't want to do it. All this is the practice of mastering discipline, and then you won't have the identity, because I want to get to a stage where I can get many of you to say you don't use that word no more. It doesn't become an identity. I procrastinate. It's more like I'm a disciplinarian. I'm a very disciplined person, and that's not being arrogant. I just heard my mum's voice there. I love my mum saying don't be arrogant, and it's not being arrogant. It's having humility. I couldn't even try and be arrogant. I've been humble many times, but it's having the confidence with humility to say I'm a hard worker. I'm disciplined. Positive affirmation, and then you become that person, you become that man, you become that woman, you live it, and then you're a better example to other people. So what are your values, guys and girls? Let me know in the box below, because if you don't have the right values and desires and goals, then you're not going to do it. And I love what my client said, David. He said one of his goals, not all of them, when he becomes financially free, wants to help his parents, wants to be in a position financially. I love that. That's probably the nicest thing a man can do, or a woman. So it's the passion. I love the feeling. I love the feeling of being afraid, stuck, procrastinating, and breaking out of it and succeeding, even if that's just on the smallest level. Many times I look at the dishes and I think, I don't want to do it. I can't face it. There's so many dishes. It's going to take ages. Change the mindset. If I don't do the dishes, I can't relax. I could have £1 million. If the dishes are not washed, as I can't enjoy it, I've got no peace. Facing procrastination will give you peace. It will give you confidence, it will give you discipline, and it will get you one step closer to your bigger goal. But I think success is just being able to act when you're challenged, and then the bigger things. So the next question my client was asking is, he said, how do I stay focused? That's a good question. It ties into procrastination. How do you stay focused? Well, you stay focused by really understanding the negative consequences of how life looks, how it feels for you when you're not focused. And I know for a fact how life looks for me. If I'm not focused for long periods of time, and I know it's the same for you guys and girls, I start having a lot of anxiety, a lot of negative thoughts. I start thinking about things that are not important. I start worrying about everything. I can easily lose sight of the great things I've got in my life, which is so many to mention. Health, family, friends, a home, food, money, things that I love, the gym. So understanding the consequences that your mental health can start going down. So focus is about facing fear. All of this is about facing fear. Have you got the courage to say, right now, let's have some honesty. I'm frightened. Yeah, I'm afraid to do my assignments because I'm scared of the feeling of being focused. Once you get focused, there's no more fear. Fear can't exist when you commit to it 100%. But when you're outside of fear, also known as procrastination, and you're trying to lose logic, it's absolutely terrifying. So frightening in the mind because the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions. So the action, the movement, which is why I keep saying, guys and girls, why don't you hit the punching bag? That's why I put the videos out. I love it. When I hit the punch bag every week, I'm the happiest man on planet Earth. Don't need anything. Anything else is a bonus. I'm not procrastinating, I'm focused, I'm present, I'm grateful for everything, I'm not resentful, I'm not angry, I'm not blaming everyone, I'm not blaming my parents for what they didn't do, I'm more grateful for what they have done and what they've continued to do. So all these things go in hand in hand. It's really about getting into the depth of the problem and finding the solution. Then it's changing the mindset. Instead of saying all the time, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I'm not accountable, I always procrastinate. My friends tell me that, my boss tells me, stop saying that. Stop talking to yourself in such a derogatory, hateful way. Say I'm having some challenges at the moment and I'm not fulfilling the best of my potential, but I'm really confident that I'm going to overcome this obstacle and I'm going to overcome procrastination. It's not going to become an identity anymore. And I'm going to go from being someone who is a full-time procrastinator to a full-time disciplinarian. So it's a lack of discipline, but you can achieve it, and you can do it today. It takes discipline by sitting down. And I did it today with this video. I could easily have said, well, I had a really good session with my client. I love working with him. He's a pleasure to be around. He's making progress. I'm happy that I've got the rest of the day. I've got many things I can do, gym, food. I can just chill out. I can sleep if I want, whatever I want to do. But I said, no, I want to overcome the good emotions that are trying to talk me out of doing this video, because I did videos earlier. So it's not letting excuses pull you out, because there's always an excuse. I'll do it after. Why don't you do it now? I don't feel like doing it now. Well, maybe doing it now will make you feel like it. Or I don't feel ready. Well, maybe doing it now will make you ready and you'll be better next time. So it's talking yourself into doing it, as opposed to letting all your negative voices and thoughts and feelings talk you out. And it's practice. I love the feeling. See, if you focus on what you're going to gain, you're not going to focus on what you're going to... I love the feeling of facing responsibilities, whether it's business, relation. I like how I feel after. I like the good suffering. So I like going to the gym, and I like the feeling of going, I didn't feel like meeting people. Or maybe you don't feel like meeting friends and family, or sometimes my clients don't want to meet me. It's not personal. It's just what it represents. But of course, when they overcome that fear, they really enjoy it. So feelings come and go like the weather. But goals and dreams and your values and what's your heartfelt desire, that's forever. So it's with practice you get better at it. And the more progress you make, the more inspired you feel to do it. Keep motivated, keep focused by understanding the negative consequences and understanding the positive consequences. I've said it before, I can't speak for everyone, every man and woman, you guys can let me know, but I know how I feel. When I face fear, when I face challenges, when I wanted to travel to Germany and Latvia, but part of me was afraid to do it, and it was procrastinating, it was trying to talk me out. When I faced that fear of responsibility, I felt like I felt the happiest man on planet Earth, because I appreciate the journey of going through those emotions when you're scared, when you're doubtful, when you feel you're not sure, when you're not ready to come out of yourself and be extroverted. I love that feeling after. I love the feeling of victory. I think Winston Churchill said it, but I've experienced it. I love the feeling of victory. So I like that feeling of feeling insecure, having self-doubt, not knowing if I can handle the task ahead, the responsibility that lies ahead, and then doing it and proving to myself, I've done it, I did it. I'm going to leave you one last story. I joke with my clients sometimes, and I tell them old stories because I'm getting older. It's what happens when you get older. Fitzroy Lodge, the boxing days of sparring, I'm terrified to do it. When I'm not in the arena and with my friends, I'm talking big because there's no threat there, and I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to do some sparring, I'm going to practice my combinations, I've been watching boxing, the things my dad taught me, Bruce Lee, I'm really going to do well in sparring. Tuesday comes, living at my nan's at the time, wake up in the morning and I'm terrified. I can't eat, I don't want to communicate, I've got diarrhea, I can't swallow food because I'm so frightened of the sparring. I'm afraid of getting beaten up. I don't want the emotions. The sound of the trains going across the gym in Fitzroy Lodge makes me nervous. The smell of the gym, all the boxers, going down to South London, it frightens me, it terrifies me, it brings up adrenaline, it brings up anxiety, and I didn't like that feeling, as most people don't until they've practiced it. So I back out, I don't always do it. I make excuses, I'll leave the boxing today, I've got a headache, I'm not in the mood, or I'll do it another day. I don't go boxing, oh man. I come in the next week, I try to avoid eye contact with my trainer, with Mick, and he calls me over and says, come here, and I'm nervous. I know what he's going to say. He says, where was you last week? I say, sorry, I couldn't make it. And I probably lied back then. I said, I had a job interview, and he's like, okay. I don't feel good though. I don't feel good because I wasn't honest to myself or my trainer, and I backed out because I procrastinated, and I didn't like the feeling of feeling like a coward, and I've let myself down, and I'm not getting any further. My goal is to overcome this fear. I want to overcome this fear of getting in the boxing ring and sparring and not caring about what people think about me. And if I get knocked out and I get flattened on my backside, great. At least I tried. At least I went out like a warrior and not a coward. I do it. I go into the gym next time. My legs are shaking. I can't speak. I go whiter than I am now. I've got to go toilet, I've got diarrhea. I want to call my mum. I want to cry and say, Mum, please rescue me. I'm in my 20s. I'm so frightened. I'm pleading with God, please God, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Something in me says, you've got to do it. I probably hear my dad's voice. You have to face it. I go in the ring, my legs are shaking, my hands are shaking, I'm trembling, the bell goes. I start letting the jab off. My confidence starts coming. Before I know it, it's like a dream. I do really well. I do 3 rounds. I come out. I'm crying on the way home. I'm literally, I can't control my emotions. I'm crying because I'm so proud of myself. I had the courage to see it through and do the sparring, even though I was terrified. It's given me so much confidence. When I've gone away from the gym, now I've got the confidence that I can get a girlfriend, that I can make my parents proud, that I'm not a loser. I'm not all these things my mind said I was when I was a kid, all the bullies. I can let go. I don't care what people, I feel good. I feel amazing. I can't wait to do it the next week. That's the power of it. That's how you do it. I can't be any more honest than that. I can't give any more than that. In any area of life, whether it's work, whether it's university, whether it's public speaking, it's business, it's communication, it's cleaning, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's the same principle. Courage, heart, focus, understanding. Can you live with the pain of regret? I can't. I know my clients can't, and I don't think you can. Right. Focus on the feeling of victory, how you're going to become a better person, and how much more you can give other people. If you enjoyed the video, share, subscribe, like. Let me know in the box below if you've got help. And as always, if you want to get confidence coaching, my email address is below. Excuse me, send me an email, I'll get back to you, all right? That's how you do it. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you soon.